it gave me that community that I didn't know I needed when I needed it most.
It was amazing. It was like, this is the perfect thing that I need right now.
I've been able to connect with her on such a beautiful level, and we've never even met her in person, but it feels like we've known her for decades, I think.
And said, you may feel like you're at that point where you don't know how to walk, you don't know what you're doing, you're struggling in your Etsy shops, or you're just getting started.
I just encourage you, like, question your people, question the people that you're being mentored by.
In reality, it does hurt our business. People are looking for our shops. Many of you guys who are watching this video.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Grace-Filled Growth Podcast with your hosts, Lauren and Connor. We're a husband and wife team who started selling on Etsy with zero experience, zero design background, and a whole lot of late nights and early mornings. Fast forward to today, and we've done just shy of $2 million in sales on Etsy, left our 9-to-5 jobs, and built a business that gives us freedom, flexibility, and a purpose. In this episode, we'll be talking about Etsy coaching, how we got into coaching, what we provide as Etsy coaches, and some of the amazing relationships we've built with students, and if coaching might be right for you. So if you've ever thought about mentorship or coaching to help accelerate your growth in your Etsy business, this episode is for you. So let's jump into it.
You know, we had a lot of success at that point on Etsy dating back to 2023. Very successful in the print-on-demand world, but really had this heart of like, we want to share our success and our experience and let other people have that same opportunity. And if we could have a way to connect with people and coach them and help them grow their own businesses, that would be amazing for us. And eventually that opportunity was presented to us, and we did have that opportunity to come on board and help coach clients and students at Inner Circle Prints. And yeah, it's been an amazing experience over the last 18 plus months at this point. And we wanted to just share with you guys in a little more detail, like what coaching entails and what it involves, because we say on all our videos, if you've seen any of our other videos, one of the main reasons we're creating content, and we're very open and transparent about this, is selfishly, we want to attract other Etsy sellers just like you. If you're watching this video and you have an Etsy shop or you're interested in starting one, we want to attract you and share our experiences so that hopefully you want to work with us one-on-one so that we can serve you and have that opportunity to help you see the same success that we've seen, or hopefully even better.
Right.
So we wanted to do a dedicated episode to talk in more detail about what coaching involves and what you could expect if you were to sign up for one-on-one coaching with us through Inner Circle Prints. And so I guess to start, what I wanted to talk about was really our experience before we were coaches, like, and even today, as we lean into other coaching programs or mentorship for us as we grow in our own careers and in our own business, how valuable that's been for us. And so I think the perfect example it relates the most, but we originally learned and we were coached by Jesse, who's the owner of Inner Circle Prints. He obviously doesn't do one-on-one coaching himself anymore. He's moved up, and as the company's grown, he has to focus his time and efforts on bigger problems, building a whole software company and a huge production company. And so he still does group coaching, which you would be a part of if you're in Inner Circle Prints, but the one-on-one coaching's been reserved for us and Jesse G, who's one of the other coaches. But going back to 2022 is when I initially signed up for coaching or mentorship from Jesse. And so we talked about this in great detail in episode 1. So if you guys haven't seen that, make sure you guys go back and watch that. But I'll give a brief summary here. So I stumbled across Jesse in 2022 when I had decided to go all out on print on demand. It was kind of a time in our lives where things were going to be changing. I was just getting ready to ask Lauren to marry me, and I had just moved up to New Hampshire. And so Jesse pops up on my Instagram for whatever reason through an ad or just a post. And it was amazing. It was like, this is the perfect thing that I need right now. Someone who's been through it and shown to have wild success. And so I was immediately like, how can I learn from this? How can I learn from Jesse? And so I sent him a DM and ultimately ended up signing up for his course in coaching at that time. which, like we talked about on that first episode, we had a handful of discussions at that time. Like, is this the right thing to do? It was scary for me at that point to sign up and trust, have faith in a person who I just saw on Instagram, right? You're putting
and invest in that,
your trust and your money and investing in that and not really knowing what's going to happen. But ultimately it was the best decision I ever made. It significantly, exponentially increased the results in our business, like very quickly. Within 30 to 60 days, I saw huge growth in my print-on-demand t-shirt shop at that time. And then, like we shared in the previous episode, it eventually started to teach Lauren how to do some of those same things. And she started her own shop and had crazy success right away out of the gate. And that really just told us, like, hey, what we've learned here, what we've learned through this coaching and mentorship, it really works and it applies to all different products. And there's something really special here. And so that was really like our first insight into, I guess, business coaching or mentorship that we had experienced. And yeah, like I said, it's been the best investment I've ever made. And just wanted to share that other side of it, how, you know, we started as students and now we're able to give back and to serve so many other people and to sow into their lives and their businesses and give them the opportunity to build something amazing. So yeah, I think the other thing we wanted to bring up is just other experiences we've had with coaching or mentorship type things in our past and how well they've gone for us. And you guys probably can relate to this. There's so many examples you've probably been a part of. One of the things we were thinking of is, so Lauren and I both played sports. We both were college athletes. And so coaching, obviously, and one-on-one training, personal training, and different things as we grew up and progressed through those sports was very valuable for us. And so that's one very simple example of how that coaching has really been able to accelerate our growth and our success in those things in sports. I played baseball, you played soccer, and we definitely wouldn't have gotten to the levels that we got to without that one-on-one experience and that mentorship and coaching. And so that's one example. I think the other example that we thought was really cool that we wanted to talk about was, Lauren, when you tore your ACL. And so
what a time.
Yeah. Right. And I'll let you share in more detail, but I think the comparison here really is, you know, she tore her ACL. She was at a point, she had graduated college after a couple of years, tore it skiing, and was at this really low point where she was really struggling with the recovery and really couldn't walk, right? Like was struggling to walk, to get off crutches, thought you were going to have potentially a second surgery, and ended up finding a coach online who does physical therapy. And I guess I'll let you take it from there.
So kind of going back to what Connor said, just all the coaches that I've had in my life for sports just showed me how well that prepared me for the collegiate level and the success there. And so, like Connor said, we started kind of early, just being around that coaching environment, that one-on-one coaching in person, really, to begin with, and how much that impacted us. But things did shift when I did tear my ACL, like Connor said, and this does relate back to the print-on-demand and Etsy world, so don't worry, hang tight. But basically what ended up happening was I was really struggling with my recovery. There was just no way I was going to get back to any type of running or exercise or my old lifestyle, as we say, with the way I was progressing. And so again, Instagram, man, it's just been hitting us up. But no, I came across this coach. His name's Tommy. He works for All in ACL. Yes, I'm representing because I'm so proud of them, but it changed my entire life. And it just sort of connects to what Connor's saying with how getting that one-on-one coaching virtually impacted his life and ultimately impacted our career. And here we are talking about that. But basically it just impacted me so much. I wasn't able to walk. I wasn't able to lift weights. I could barely hold my own body up with my recovery. Was told I could run when I literally didn't even know how to walk. So it was just a lot going on there and a lot for me to handle. And I just was hitting really tough points. And I knew that I had to figure it out. Otherwise, I was never going to get to where I wanted to be or further along. And so why this relates to the Etsy world is a lot of people, and including us, started from that point as well in the Etsy world of, I don't know what I'm doing. I know that something isn't working, but I have to figure out how to get that. And so the reason that we're even using that analogy is the ACL recovery and the coaching that I got from that virtually was so impactful on my life. Personally, just having that connection and someone that related to me and gave me that sense of, you know, you can do this, you're going through these difficulties, but hey, I'm in your corner and you can get through anything with the right mindset and, you know, the right plan. And that is what I needed. I needed to see the plan and to see how I could actually come out stronger than I was before my injury. And so that impacted me a lot, to the point that I saw value in coaching in so many different regards, whether it was coaching for sports or coaching for recovery, a huge recovery that was just detrimental to me mentally and physically, and then ultimately led to the print-on-demand coaching. So it all just kind of like rolled into each other, and it just made such a huge impact on my life and gave me so much freedom, and it gave me that community that I didn't know I needed when I needed it most. I was at such a vulnerable time with, you know, people always asking how you're doing, which was so nice. But honestly, I couldn't say I was doing great. I just wasn't. I was really stuck. I didn't know how to figure it out. And I was just lost. I had this huge brace on and crutches, and couldn't believe that I was learning how to rewalk in my 20s when that was not even a thought in my mind. And then turning around and finding this amazing, amazing coach who was able to provide me that plan and, you know, walk me through each of the phases and celebrate my wins and help me with my, you know, challenges, and ultimately get me to the end where I was actually stronger than I had to even begin with. Even through college, I was a lot stronger because, you know, I didn't cut corners, and I was able to, you know, really finesse my workout and fitness journey, which was really cool. Never thought I'd do that. So that was really cool. But the whole point of this, even me telling you this, is that's how I felt about coaching. And the print-on-demand world for what we specifically do in Etsy is I found that with the coaching with Jesse, and honestly with Connor as well, because he's the one that taught me, and then we did it with Jesse together. But, you know, it was someone in my corner at all times that I felt like, you know, he was ahead of me at the time, and I could talk to him about any questions that I had, reservations I had, anything that I had, those baby steps, learning how to walk, then learning to crawl, then learning to start to whatever. I used that wrong, but anyways.
Yeah, backwards. Hopefully you learn how to crawl before you walk.
I did learn how to crawl before I walked.
I think in summary, that's why we wanted to share that analogy, right? Because a lot of you, like Lauren said, you may feel like you're at that point where you don't know how to walk, you don't know what you're doing, you're struggling in your Etsy shops, or you're just getting started, and having access to someone who's already done it or has already coached tons of people through that same process very successfully. That's why we wanted to share that analogy with her knee story there. And that's exactly what we try and do with you guys if we get the opportunity to work with you. And I think we've implemented a lot of some of those same things that you even took away from Tommy's knee program that you went through, and those check-ins and just highlighting wins and things like that. And so, yeah, it was a really important moment in our story, and something that really helped us through our own coaching journey. Yeah.
So it didn't just land in our lap and we were just happy-go-lucky with it. It definitely came with development from years of it. And we actually never really realized that until we did more of a reflection of that and how much that coaching really has just impacted a lot of our life. And has just pushed us forward to be even better. And So yeah,
So all that to say that we really believe in coaching and mentorship as a way to accelerate your growth and to get where you want to go, through following someone's process who has done exactly what you're trying to do. And so that's what we try and provide through coaching. And so next we wanted to talk a little bit about, like, what does coaching entail? If you do choose to work with us, if you do have that opportunity, what does that include and what does that look like? And so we want to be really careful. We don't want this to be a sales pitch. Like, we have plenty of clients. We work with tons of people.
This isn't the point of that.
The ones that we work with are amazing, and we have so much to do in our own business to grow. But we do love serving people and being able to help them in their own business. And so we wanted to just peel back the onion a little bit and give you guys a little more insight into what that looks like. So basically, if you get the opportunity to work with us one-on-one, what that looks like is you get one-on-one Zoom calls with us. And so up to 2 calls per month. So if you work with us for a year, that's 24 different Zoom calls, 30-minute Zoom calls, different touch points throughout the year, where you get one-on-one access to us and just someone to hold your hand and, like, guide you through the whole process and make sure you're on track, make sure you're focused on the right things, answer, like, specific nuanced questions, that the very specific question or problem that you're trying to solve in your business, that 99.9% of the time we've already been through and we already have an answer. And so you're not left searching or testing different things. It's like, no, we've already tested this, and, like, this is what you should do. That often happens. And so I think that's a huge benefit. The other thing that you get access to, and it goes hand in hand, is we have a private Slack channel with each one of our clients or each one of our students. And so you guys basically have 24/7 access to us, basically texting back and forth. That's how we use it. It's on our phones. And so when you guys message us, we see those just like a text. And so we go back and forth with students, like, all the time, all day long. And it's just that accountability partner. It's that person in your corner who knows where you should be headed, knows what you should be working on next, can give you feedback on things. And so, yeah, I wanted to highlight those two things.
Yeah, that's big picture. We obviously do a lot more hands-on with you guys that we can, but that's just big picture, a little taste of peeling that onion back about what we do. But the next thing that we really want to focus on is who's coaching for and what is the benefit. So we get that question often, and sometimes you think you're ready for coaching and maybe you're not, or maybe you are and you're like, hey, I need this. But it's really for the people that are serious and ready to pursue their business for reals, that they are looking to accelerate and grow their business, and maybe they're stuck on a hump that they are trying to figure out and they can't, and they just need that extra guidance and support. And one of the benefits that we always like to share and point out is that we are actively selling. So we are actively going through the growing pains with you guys, or we've already gone through the growing pains, and we can help, you avoid those Google moments where you're going down a rabbit hole trying to figure out what to do. We can be your Google. I'm just kidding. But essentially it just is, it's really helpful because we are actively going through it. We are actively in the market. We share what we're going through in our business, and we share stuff that has worked really well for us or hasn't. And again, it's all from our experience, and we're just here to serve and want to serve and give you guys as much as we can. So if we get that opportunity to work with you one-on-one, that's one of the biggest benefits, I think. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think, just to highlight again exactly what you said, it's really for those people who are ready to take their business to the next level, to treat it like a business, right? And no longer a side hustle or just a thing you're, like, kind of doing halfway and hoping that you're going to get success. It's like the people who sign up for coaching, they're ready. They very confident that they can take this business to the next level, like so many other people can. And they're using the mentorship and the coaching as a way to accelerate that growth. And one of the huge benefits is, like, just not making the same mistakes that we made, avoiding those mistakes. Like, we've made them all, right?
Why learn yourself when you can learn from others?
Right.
Yeah.
Us. And so having us in your corner, or Jesse G, or whoever you get to work with,
or any program, honestly, that's
the huge
whatever
benefit,
you do. Yeah.
is you get to essentially avoid and fast track success by avoiding those mistakes. And so, yeah, that's some of the things we wanted to just really highlight in terms of what are the benefits of coaching and who is it really for. And I think the next thing that we wanted to talk about was just like the relationships that we've been able to build, and how cool it's been to be a coach and to come alongside people in their journey and help them grow their business.
Yeah, I think one of the coolest things that we love to do is to be able to connect one-on-one. We always do an introductory call together, and we know that we're going to be talking about print on demand and Etsy, but something that we've really loved to do is we want to know more about our people that we're going to be working with and serving on a personal level. It can be whatever they feel comfortable sharing, but that's, again, the most important thing that we feel is how can we connect with you guys on a level that makes us be human, and that we can have those genuine interactions. And then, hey, we have this bonus over here that we can help support with the Etsy world and print on demand and any questions like that. But yeah, it's been so cool, the relationships we built. I know for me personally, and you too, is Whitney. She's just been such a gem. We've been able to connect with her on such a beautiful level, and we've never even met her in person, but it feels like we've known her for decades, I think. But we would never have met her if we weren't doing this coaching or just print on demand in general. But just hearing her story and being able to help just be that small part and help serve her and help her achieve the goals that she wants to do for the freedom that she's trying to achieve. So that's been really big.
Yeah, I think the big thing, like Lauren talked about at the beginning when we first get the opportunity to meet you guys, what we really want to understand is, what is your why? What are your goals? Like, why are you doing this? And everyone's in a different scenario. They all have different life circumstances. And we really want to understand that and know your goals so that we can come alongside you and lock arms and both head in the right direction. Like, what are we trying to achieve here? And we like to get really specific on that up front so that we can come alongside you in the journey and remind you of why you're doing this when it does become hard or when you want to give up down the road. And so, yeah, that's been one of the really cool parts of just being able to coach people. And I think early on, before we even started coaching, we really had to think long and hard. We talked about this on the first episode, but we had to think long and hard if this was the right thing that we wanted to do, because we were potentially stepping into a season where we were going to be coaching and helping people who are in direct competition with us. Like Lauren said, we still actively sell in our Etsy business. We're actively growing our businesses, building our team, and trying to scale that to as big as it can be. And we're doing this coaching thing alongside our own shops. And in reality, it does hurt our business. People are looking for our shops. Many of you guys who are watching this video, like, if we look at our stats right now on our Etsy shop, because we've been so open with you guys and so transparent, like, the number one source of traffic on our shops is people searching our shop name every day. Hundreds of thousands of people are searching for our shop. And so it significantly hurts our business. It hurts our conversion rate. And so we knew that going in, but we felt that there was far greater reward in helping people and serving people. And ultimately we chose to step into that coaching season and to be able to serve you guys. And so, yeah, just wanted to share a little more insight into that.
Yeah, and I think the other thing, just quickly, is the community aspect of it. You know, we have that connection, but you also, specifically with Inner Circle Prints and maybe other platforms, we don't know that, but you have that community that you can connect with, that in a environment that might feel really lonely or isolating, you can connect with people that are doing the same thing or going through the same troubles or the same wins or anything like that. And then again, you have us to cheer you on and go through those wins. And also, we got a community that we didn't know we needed. We have a great community of you guys that we've been able to have the opportunity to coach. And it was actually stuff that we didn't even know that we needed in our lives. And so it's really been fun to be able to talk to people that are like-minded, and you can be nerds and talk about Etsy for a while. And it actually is really nice to be able to do that. So it's a mutual feeling that we've been able to establish, which is nice.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because I'm definitely on the nerdy side when it comes to business and Etsy. Like,
and it gets old talking to me about it. So
right. Yeah. You're like, can we stop talking about Etsy for once? And so, but it's given me the opportunity to continue to just share that love for business and share that same interest with other people who want to talk about those things. And so there's so many students that I've been able to do that with, and I learn along the way with them, right? And share those insights, and having those back and forths, like testing things with students and just learning things from those experiences and being able to share that with other people that we coach has been so cool to see that evolve. And I think the next thing we wanted to do was just highlight some of our students, and maybe we won't go into too much detail about each person. We've shared on other interviews and things like that, maybe some success stories and testimonies, and we'll probably do that in future videos on our own channel here. We plan to interview some of you guys who have had the opportunity to work with us and who have done really well and built amazing Etsy businesses. And so more to come on that. You guys will see some other clients and students be featured in interviews pretty soon here on our channel. But we did want to just highlight some of our students who have really leaned into the process and really had a lot of success and have just been a joy to work with. And so you highlighted Whitney. Is there anyone else you wanted to just highlight?
Yeah, I'll just kind of go a little further on Whitney. Just Whitney had such a drive and just wanted the willingness to learn and get out of her own way to learn the process that we coach on. And again, if that's anyone learning in any platform, like, just lean into it. Whatever you're doing, that's what we've seen with most of our students that have had really great success, is they just get out of their own way and ultimately lean into the process that they've invested into or decided to go into. So whatever that is, I encourage you to just lean into that process. It's there for a reason. But that was something that stood out with me, is she just was able to pick it up so quickly. And we were able to have those higher level conversations, or at times it was talking about, issues that were going on and how we can navigate them. But she just was such a joy to work with. And again, I talked about her earlier. We just have connected really well outside of the coaching world too. But her work ethic and her willingness to learn and apply appropriately is what led her to the success that she had. And again, I'm not going to get into the details of that. We've talked about this stuff on other interviews on Jesse's channel, but that was one. And then the other one that I want to highlight is Angie. She was, this one's always like tried and true to the heart, because she was our very first student. And she just crushed it in the sense of, she came in with a skill set, which was really cool, but we were able to develop and sharpen that skill set. And so she was able to generate significant growth in her shop, especially towards the end of the year. Yeah. But it was really cool to see her. And so two different areas that people came from, but really cool to see them both develop and grow and continue to pursue what they've learned from this. But what about you? You have a couple.
Yeah, definitely a few I want to highlight. That one thing I wanted to highlight that you didn't say was, like, just to go more into the relationships you've been able to build, like, especially with Whitney, like, you consider her,
she's my homegirl,
a friend now. And so like, you guys have your own personal phone numbers. And so you guys text all the time. And so outside of Etsy, she's become a friend. And so,
which I never thought would happen. That wasn't my intention, but it just evolved and we just click. Yeah. And it's just so fun.
It's just really cool to see. Yeah. I think some of the people I wanted to highlight were Chris and Tracy. And so they're some of my favorite students. I've worked with them over a year now. Just so cool to see them from when
they're a husband and wife team, by the way.
Right. So another couple who are doing this together, and some of the hardest working people I know, people who are going to do whatever it takes to get the job done.
Yeah.
And it's just really cool to come alongside people like that who aren't going to give up, who are going to do whatever it takes, and they're going to listen to what you say. They're fully bought into the process, and it's really cool to coach people like that and just see them achieve that success that they're striving for and help them get closer and closer to their goals that they're looking to achieve. And really just see start to finish, like where they started, how much they've grown and learned over that year.
That
plus.
was really cool. Yeah. I saw the back of it because obviously we worked together, but it was very cool.
Yeah, definitely. And then the other person I wanted to highlight was Lorena. And so she's one of my Australian students.
Yeah.
And
woo woo, Aussies.
Yeah. And she's amazing. She has just picked up things so quickly. Another person I've worked with over a year now, and such a skill set, such an eye for design, has just picked up those Etsy skills so quickly. And it's really because she bought into the process, like just went all in and did exactly what we teach and followed it to a T and had crazy success. We've shared on other interviews and things like that some of the results that they've gotten. Won't get into too many details here, but she absolutely crushed it last Christmas. Same with Chris and Tracy, and just really looking forward to seeing what they do in this like second full year, this second Q4, because in our experience, that's when the exponential growth happens. And yeah.
And I think it's been cool just for all of those people. And those are just a handful that we could highlight many more, but those are just the ones that stand out the most. And it's been cool to see them start from like a little seed and then watering that seed. And then it's just like continuing to grow, and now they're this strong foundation that they can build on top of, and now we get to celebrate the successes and the wins alongside them. So that has been really cool. And I said this in one of our other videos, but that is the true joy of this. Like we find more joy in their wins and their milestones that they achieve, because we've seen them be able to grow and develop to get to there, than we do for our own business. And like, we genuinely mean that. Like it's so cool. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's just such a cool feeling, and you're just so proud of all the work that everyone's done. And it's really cool.
Yeah. I've shared this in the past, but just to bring it up again for those who didn't hear me say that, but like Lauren really means that when she's saying it. Like, she has a browser on her computer, and the first thing she does every morning when she logs into the computer is she refreshes the pages of her students and like, how many sales did they get that day? How well are they doing? And she does that before she even checks our own shops. And so it does mean that much. We do celebrate the wins of our students. Because
selfishly, I want to beat them to tell me they hit that milestone.
And sometimes you do. You're like, congrats on the first sale or the first 3 sales. And they're like, what? I didn't even know.
I just cherish that. So it's so cool. And then they're like, what? Thanks for telling me. I'm like, you need to be looking. Like, I wake up looking at this. This is my alarm clock.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. We just are so grateful for that, and to be able to celebrate those wins along the way.
So the next thing we wanted to highlight or talk about, I think, is a little more detail on maybe some of the characteristics that those successful people have who we've had the chance to work with. What did they have in them that's maybe similar, and what's allowed them to see that success and that growth in their own businesses?
Yeah, I think there's many characteristics, but the ones that I've seen, and consistently, I think, with the specific students we've talked about and many other ones that we've coached, but it's just the grit and willingness to learn and to lean into the process fully. Like I said earlier, I kind of mentioned that, but it really is that the willingness to learn, the grit and determination, and then the willingness to not give up and get out of your own way and lean into the mentorship, whatever program it is in, because we're doing this for a reason, because we want to serve you guys. So lean into us. That's the whole point of a mentorship coaching program or course that you do, is to learn from people. And so I think those are the big things that I noticed. What did you notice?
Yeah, definitely leaning into the process. I think, like you said, the grit and determination, like deciding when you sign up that, hey, I'm not going to quit no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, as long as you don't quit, as long as you don't give up, like, you're going to find the success. It's been proven time after time. Like, we're walking testimonies of it. We follow the process to a T, and we've had great success in our business. And so many other people that we've coached, that Jesse's coached over the years, have had crazy success. And so what that means is you can do it too. And it boils down to, you just need to power through, follow the process to a T, show that grit and determination, and don't give up, because you can do it too. None of us have like this crazy skill set that's unattainable for anyone. Like, we're not graphic designers. We taught ourselves how to design for print on demand products. And today we've talked about this. Like, I would put us up against any designer in the world with constraints, right? If we limit it to print on demand products and with some constraints, I would put us up against anyone in the world for that. And so, yeah, anyone can learn that skill is what I'm trying to say. And so,
and you don't need to come in with a ton of experience either. That's the thing. Like, it doesn't matter where you're starting, just as long as you have that right mindset, I think. And the determination, the grit, and the willingness to make it work and not give up. Yeah.
And the people who have had that success, they've really leaned into that and just followed the process to a T. And I think that leads us to the next point that we wanted to talk about, was maybe some of the mindset shifts that we see people need to go through when they sign up for coaching or they become part of our program. Many of you guys have probably experienced other coaching programs, maybe through Etsy, maybe through other e-commerce things, or just business in general. And all of those programs, 99% of them have a lot of value, right?
Yeah.
You can find huge success and growth in your business through those programs. But I think what's really important is when you join a program, to put the blinders on and like zone out everything else. Because if you're trying to dabble with a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of this, you're so spread thin and you don't know what works yet, right? You're trying to make the decision, like, I think this piece will work, I think that piece will work, I think this piece will work, and you get this like combination, this soup of all different methods and different approaches, and you're just picking and choosing pieces.
Yeah, and you're ultimately confused.
Right.
I think, like, it's really hard to be like, I think this is right.
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing is, like, if you do sign up for a coaching program, whether it's us or someone else's, like, go all in on that.
Yeah.
Follow it to a T. Like, do everything they say, because they've proven themselves, if it's a good program, that, you know, it is possible that if they're teaching exactly what they did, you can probably do it too. And if you follow exactly what they're saying to a T, you can achieve those same results. And I would be really careful to not try and do things differently because you think it's the right way to do it if you haven't achieved that success. Try and replicate the results first. It may take you a year, it may take you multiple years to get to that point, but go all in, replicate the results. And then when you've seen those same results, then you can start to sprinkle in your own things from other things you've learned and improve on the process. But I think just be really careful when you sign up for these programs to not just hop around and go to the next thing and take a little bit from them, take a little bit from the other people, and try and come up with your own method if you haven't achieved the success yet, because it's a really slippery slope, and it's a way to get really just confused at what you're doing and just unsure of if you're headed in the right direction.
Yeah, that's good. It's true. So yeah, I definitely pick the program. Like we said, we don't care if it's us. pick the program and stick with it and go all in. That's exactly what we did. We literally jumped all in. We didn't even know there were other programs out there, actually. At least I didn't. Did you?
Not when I first signed up for Jesse. This was really the only one I saw, and I was like, this is it.
Like I said in one of our other podcasts, is like, when he started with Jesse and started doing the coaching and did the course and everything, he was fully devoted to it. Like, in the sense of, he could probably coach it and teach it, which obviously that's where we're at. But he got to that level because he knew the course inside and out. He knew it the back of his hand, which is one of the reasons why he was able to teach me and how I was able to have the success, because he took the willingness and determination that he was investing in this program, an investment to him and the business, and he had to make it work. And so he took it very seriously, and it's paid off. So we're speaking from our experience and what we've done. And so again, whatever program you're in, no matter what it is and whatever aspect of life, just go all in on it. You've invested in it for a reason. And the other thing I want to add to that too, if you get the opportunity to do one-on-one coaching where you have a physical coach like us or another program, question them. Use it as an opportunity to question. You don't need to question us necessarily. You can, we don't care. We're open books, but question your people. Like, ask the questions, ask why this is happening, ask whatever's on your mind, ask it. That's the resource that you get. And so, I just encourage you, like, just because you go into a program, listen to what the program is telling you and listen to the course that you take, but also question it. Like, that is so key. And that's what we've seen with our students that we've highlighted and many more that we've worked with, is they have questioned it. They've questioned things that we've said. They've questioned things that, they're going through and examples that we give. And ultimately, we become better from it and they learn a lot from it. And so I just encourage you, like, question your people, question the people that you're being mentored by or coached by, no matter who it is, and just lean into that, because it's such a resource if you utilize it that way.
Yeah. And extract everything you can from them, right? Especially if you have access one-on-one, like, for example, for us with those Zoom calls or one-on-one access through Slack, like Lauren's saying, that some of these people that we highlighted who have had the most success, right? They're the ones who are actively, like, all the time in our messages.
Yeah.
And they ask tough questions even early on and throughout the whole process as they grow and get more experience. Like, they ask the hard questions and they want to know why we say certain things.
And they should. You should want to know why. It's your business.
Yeah. And so, like she said, it not only helps us become better coaches to answer those questions and give very thoughtful explanations and help them work through the learning process, but it really helps them develop and, like, really understand the mindset of, like, how we think through things so that they can apply it to their own business in the future.
And I think just going off that real quick is, like, the goal for our coaching that we do, and I think the goal for other people as well, I don't know, but just speaking from our experience, is our goal is to be able to equip you to the point that you can go off and do it yourself with confidence. Yeah. That's the whole goal of our approach and Jesse's approach, is how can we equip you guys to be able to do it your own way with obviously the process in hand, but now you're so confident that, hey, I can do it, and I'm so grateful for them, but now I can step on my own stone. And so I think that's something that we really try to empower our students with. And that's why I encourage whoever you're coaching with or mentoring with or whatever program you're in, ask the questions, because we can't just come up with questions for you guys. We need the questions to come, and we will provide the guidance to the best of our capability. And that is what equips you. So lean into that a lot.
Yeah. I think one of the things we often fall back on and what we remind ourselves of is we're here to teach you guys how to fish. That's our ultimate goal.
Yeah. Number one.
We don't just want to give you guys the fish, because while it may result in quick sales for you and success in 12 months or whenever you stop coaching with us, stop working with us, you'll be left with no skills and you won't know what to do because you were just given the answer. And so what we try and be really intentional with is like helping you, guiding you along the way, putting those guardrails up so that you're not falling off track, but you're headed in the right direction, but helping you guys learn and develop those skills along the way, because that's far more valuable. Just giving you the answer, there's value in that.
Well, it feels really good.
Right.
At first for both parties.
Right.
Until it's not good.
It can give you some success and help you along the way if we just give it to you on a silver platter, which sometimes we do for certain things that are small. But ultimately our goal is like, hey, we want you guys to learn. We want you to develop the skills and the confidence, like Lauren said.
Sorry, go ahead.
To step out on your own and confidently grow your business on your own.
Yeah. And I think just going off that, what Connor was saying is, at the end of the day, it is not our business.
Right.
Okay. So our mentality to teach you guys to fish and learn that and give you guys the confidence and knowledge so that you can go on your own is so that you can be equipped and build your business, not our business, your business. And so, yes, we do make you guys search and get the answers. We do help you along the way. Don't worry. We don't just throw you out there and help you, hope you just float. But we do want you guys to learn. We do push those questions back a little bit to say, how'd you get here? Or, did you look here and stuff like that, so that you can have that knowledge and resource in the back of your back pocket. And so if we're not with you guys, and then after 12 months, you're good to go. Like, how you got there. So it's your business, not ours. And that's what we try to keep at the forefront is you need to take the responsibility, and we're helping you do that and equipping you to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think it's really good that we highlighted that, because it's been such a point of emphasis for us and how we've just thought through and how we approach coaching.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that pretty much wraps up what we wanted to talk about here in this episode, maybe a little shorter than some of our other podcast episodes, which I think is fine.
Yeah.
We wanted to do a deep dive on the coaching and the one-on-one aspect. We do have one thing for you guys, so don't go just yet. So if you are interested in coaching, there's going to be a link in the description. And if you're at that point where you're interested, that's awesome. We'd love to work with you. If you're not at that point yet, coaching maybe is a little too expensive for you, or you're just not ready to take that leap yet, that's perfectly fine. Lauren and I are actually working on something really cool in the background, and we can't share the information yet. But if you guys are interested, there's going to be a link down in the description to join a wait list, and you guys will be the very first people to hear about that opportunity. It's going to be mind-blowing, I think, for a lot of you guys. Huge value. And yeah, we have something really big planned. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you join the wait list below. And thanks for watching.
Thank you.